Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Phrasing and Articulation Club. Today, we are going to be working on 9 de Julio, as we were working last week, and this will be articulations and London. And we are going to be working in the marcato that you have on 9 de Julio. We are going to be working a little bit on that. How did everybody do with the marcatos? Did you figure it out? Good. Okay. Bad. Yes.
So I practiced, but I realized I was playing everything in opening. I don't know if this was supposed to be
That
having
that
a
it's okay.
change
It
of
would be
bellow
nice
direction.
if we can do opening and closing, because it's important to know both ways. Normally in an orchestra you have 4 bandoneons and you can play opening. Sometimes you have to breathe. The other 4 are going to be playing, but you also are going to be using much less of a melodic line, but more rhythmic. So in between those chords, you can be breathing. For example, see that I missed one note in there because I just arranged the bellows. That's normal. And so it's okay if you're playing opening. Don't worry, try to learn it closing as well, but it's okay. So, how about the Pugliese style and the D'Arienzo style? Did you figure out the 2 different ways? Were you able to match what the orchestra was doing? Okay, so this is what we are going to do. I want a volunteer to play the D'Arienzo style. One volunteer. You don't have to be perfect. You have to say, this is what I tried, this is what happened. Okay, we are not looking for perfection. So who is going to volunteer? Chiyu, look at the camera. Don't try to avoid me. Okay.
I'm looking at my
Janine.
sheet music. My sheet music is this way.
Okay. Janine, D'Arienzo style. Can you show me a little bit? Are you too far from the microphone? Okay. Francis.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay, Adele.
Because I want you to hear whether I play it dry enough. Slowly, okay? Um, um,
Okay, it's very good. Now, you are worrying too much about the notes for now. So you're fine with the how dry you do it in the left hand. The chord is nice. Now on the right hand, we have too much of the notes. Since this is a very rhythmic pattern, so we try to just play it as a rhythm. And remember, we are using our legs. If you see the orchestra of D'Arienzo or the orchestra of Pugliese, they are using the legs. And that's not something that Marconi will recommend, but for the orchestras, it's good. So when they increase the volume or they decrease the volume, it's how far the leg is going to be moving. So the bandoneon has an impulse. It's a physical impulse, it's not a mental impulse. That's why you can worry about the notes. Okay, who else wants to show me D'Arienzo? Francis?
All right. There we go. See my bandoneon? There we go.
Yeah. That's very good, Francis. So when you close, make sure that your fingers are acting as this for the staccato as well. And if you are putting pressure on the bandoneon, then it's going to sound. I'm not doing what you did. I'm totally exaggerating. Okay, so it has to be.
Oh, okay.
Very good. So who wants to show me the Pugliese style? Alex.
Sorry, I'm a little behind. I didn't do my homework, so I can do that again. So, but
You can do D'Arienzo? Okay, do one more D'Arienzo. Come on. Okay, so here's something important. It's very good. Now, the problem is that your bellows get to be this size.
I didn't do my homework.
So it's good, but it's good to also make a point out of it that you can't play in an orchestra when you're playing something rhythmic. You can't play out here because it starts to be impossible to make the bandoneon have punch. So you always have to keep the bandoneon very close. Okay, so that's very important. Yes, Adele.
I have a question. When doing something like this, if I play opening all the time, when I reset the bandoneon, I'm practicing to reset in between before the third beat instead of resetting before the first beat. I somehow find it easier to breathe in the middle of the measure instead of is that the right way to do it?
That is fine. So the important thing is that you are going to play the beats, and on the upbeats is when we breathe. So whatever it is, you're going to be. So you hear that I always play the downbeat. On the upbeat is when I'm trying to breathe and keep the bandoneon in the close bellows. So always think about the upbeat. It doesn't matter where on the downbeat, on the first beat or on the third beat, but always on the upbeat. Okay, so we don't miss the energy of the orchestra. So Pugliese style, Chiyo. Janine.
I didn't practice either. That's why I'm hiding. But could you tell me your fingering that you would use? The last measure of the first D'Arienzo, when you go to that, is that
this one?
No, the other one. The G minor chord, measure 36. Sorry, I'll just. What do you use?
36. I have the wrong part. So you are talking about the G minor chord?
Yeah, my hand is cramping. What? What do you use?
So if we are doing G, low G, B, and D, is that what we are doing?
No, but the last measure, it's up higher. It's this G. And I'm using 4,
yeah,
and
4,
2 and B flat, and 3.
So you're going to use 4, 2, 3.
Right. Okay. And then the next one, I can just leave those there and put my 5th finger on B, and I'm all set.
Correct.
Okay. Just checking, because I used to hop around. I used to have another G major that was what I always went to, but it doesn't fit this, so I'm not.
Okay. So we got it now?
I got it. Thank you.
Very good. So now I'm going to hear from Chiyu, London, and Michelle, Pugliese style. Who is going to Chiyo first?
Okay, I can only play it very slowly.
It's okay. Okay, Chiyo. That it's good that you are thinking on the first and third beat. The only thing that you are not doing is you are not using your leg to give the impulse to the first and third beat. So right now what you're doing is making the notes longer purposely. What we want is your foot to be the, how do you call it, the heel of your foot has to be higher than the other beats. That will produce a much heavier downbeat. So okay, we are not trying to do it with the bellows or our fingers. It's a natural bounce. Always think rhythm is instinctive. You don't have to use your brain. You have to use your brain to know the chords and to use your to learn your notes on the right hand. But when we are playing, it should be the instinct that kicks in and the physicality of your body, how you're going to produce a sound. So try again. That's good. We are making a lot of progress already. Now, what you should do is once you know the notes, you can go for a while instead of going through the whole part. You just go. And then you go to the second one and you. So keep it there so you really learn to do this as a mechanical thing. It's not intellectual. I will always tell you this: don't use your brain to play. So there are two things that you use your brain. You use your brain to learn the piece, to get the fingerings, to read the notes, to try to make sure that everything is correct. When you're performing, you use your body and your heart. Those are the things that you use. It's too late to use your brain. If you're using your brain when you're performing, it becomes a completely different music. Okay? So, London, show me Pugliese. Okay, hold on one second because we cannot hear you, and everybody should have the turn off original sound. It should say turn off original sound because you turn on the original sound.
How should I do it?
If you you don't know how to click it.
Well, okay, I'll try again. Can you hear me?
Yes. Very good. Okay, we lost you completely, but it's very good, including the reverb that you have in there. Sounds good. If somebody can tell him while we do this how to do the sound off, or I can tell you at the end how to do the original sound. But So it's very good. What he's doing is physical, is good. At the beginning, I was a little bit surprised because you were extending the notes, and it's not that. It's even the second and the third beat, you don't need to hear it because you're in an orchestra, you're playing in an orchestra, and this orchestra will produce a massive sound. Many times, if the violins are playing the melody, it's even more. Like, for example, in La Jumba, violins and bandoneons are playing the rhythm. Violin players have the tendency to try to play all the notes, more if they are trained classically. They want to play all the notes. So the bandoneons compensate for that and use a lot of the 1 and 3 and almost nothing on the 2 and 4. I think you clicked the wrong button. Now you're vertical in there.
Okay,
So remember how I told you the evolution of the rhythm all the way to color tango, which is Pugliese did the 1 and 3 almost perfectly on the downbeat and the third beat. Then Sexteto Tango started to anticipate a little bit more because they started to take the impulse a little bit before and deliver almost a tiny beat before the beat. So they will do. And then Color Tango went even farther, and they did. I cannot even do it. So they will do the 1 and 3 very anticipated. So what we want is a style of Pugliese on the 1 and 3, but with a lot of punch, with a lot of impulse from your foot, from the heel of your foot. So this is yeah.
Oh, quick question. So there's no, well, there's no. It has to be really
I mean
tight.
the arrastre.
Yeah. What?
The arrastre happens sometimes, but not all the time.
So it's just you just accent hard.
Yes, so the arrastre happens when they want to emphasize a little bit more. For example, if you start at the beginning, but you see that I don't have the arrastre, I only had it at the beginning. So yeah. So the other thing that we are doing in this style of Pugliese is we are switching the chords to a higher register. And that has to do also with the way that they will play. You know, Pugliese will play the bass note, and then he will go to the bottom of the piano, playing like 2 or 3 notes together. That's called it's like a cluster. It's not the note of the chord. So it will be run, boom, run, boom, run. So the down, it doesn't matter when you play the notes on the piano, which is this fabulous thing that we have with the bandoneon. We play any note and it sounds like a note. On the piano, at the bottom of the piano, it sounds like something in there. But that's what Pugliese used. I'm just kidding because Christy's here. I'm trying to, to talk bad about the piano. But it produces a nice effect. So what we are doing is when he's playing that button note, those button notes, we are playing the higher chord. So that together produces the second and fourth beat that you hear in Pugliese. So, any questions about this? I would like you to work more on this style, make it become more physical, and then we will do other exercises on articulations next week. But I want to hear more of this, and I'm going to make you play because I want everybody to bring something to talk about. if you have a problem, many of us will have the same problem, so we will talk about it and solve it. Okay? So this is it for the articulations, and we are going to meet in about 8 minutes for the variation club. So thank you very much,
Right.
everybody, and I will see you soon. Yes. See
I
you.
changed the advanced sound. Is it right? Or is it sound? Can you hear it?
Keep playing. Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay.
Good. So thank you to you for helping. See you soon. Bye-bye.